Hey guys, in today's video I will be talking about the worst gloves and how they should be buffed in slap battles. I've seen some recent buffs and reworks with some gloves, for example, Jet and Kill Streak, which is almost here. But I want the worst gloves in slap battles to be a lot better. Now these gloves will consist of brick, pole, I don't know, mail, and then other ones such as bubble. But without saying much, let's do the video. Alright, so I have concerns with brick. No one will step on this brick. Most likely people will not step on the brick. No one really does that anymore. I'm starting to see the brick being a little bit more bouncy now, but there's actually a way we can buff this. So if someone steps on it, they'll blow up instead. The twist to this is that it will be invisible, so no one will know where the brick is. So it will be bigger and invisible, and if you step on it, instead of like lying down on the floor, like you will be exploded and possibly off the void. So that's how you can buff brick. Now for pole, there's not much I can change about pole, but a way you can buff this is, or Tencel could buff this, is by adding more power. If they have more power, you go back farther. That's the only way I can really see this as a buff. And yeah, just make the power, increase the power, and then boom, a buffed pole glove. Way better than before. So mail. Now we all know mail. If you get mail, it covers almost all of your screen. But what if it covered all of your screen? Well, that's how you can buff it. I just noticed that the X shows even on the normal map, which is pretty funny. You cannot see it. It's just there. But anyways, instead of covering almost all of your screen, what if it just covers all of your screen instead of almost all of your screen? Like, what if it just covers the whole screen and then you have nowhere to go? Here's an example. But yeah, that's how Tencel could buff mail. It's not too special, but it still is a big change. And the player can't even see where he's going. Engineer. This is the final one for the normal gloves, and then we'll move on to the badge gloves. But I have a little bit of a problem with Engineer. So basically the ability is you can place down a sentry, like shown. Now, nobody or barely anyone will go touch it, you know? They will barely attempt. I see a lot of people do, but like, why would anyone, you know? So I have an idea. What if instead of just placing down a sentry, it gives you a random ability? For example, it doesn't have to be the sentry. What if it's like a drone that follows you and shoots out slaps at people? And maybe a wrench ability. Maybe you can throw a wrench at somebody. Maybe you can build a robot. It's sort of like replica, but not really. I think that would be very cool, and Tencel should really add this feature instead of just a sentry. Like, robots in a drone would be very cool instead of just a sentry. I feel like this would change up the gameplay of the game. But yeah, that's how, and it will also bring more unique abilities and features to the glove. And this might be the most unique glove if Tencel does add this. I think it would be very cool and spice up some of the gameplay. Okay, now we're on to badge gloves. Plague, I feel like, should be buffed so much. And I actually have a way of buffing this. So instead of getting hit and slowly die, what if you have a 32 seconds to actually get rid of that plague? It's sort of similar to the potato glove. So for example, if I slap someone, they'll have 32 seconds to pass it on. If someone has the plague infection, when it hits 0, they will die. I feel like this would change up so much of the gameplay about this glove. And overall, I feel like it would just be so much more better than just making someone slowly die. I think it would actually be very cool. So that's how Plague should be buffed. And I think it's a very good idea. Tencel should really add this. Now Redacted. My way of buffing this is very small, but I feel like it will make this glove better. So when you respond to Redacted portal, you actually have to be under it, and so you can get into the portal. My theory is that anyone in about this radius right here can get sucked into the portal very fast. Nobody really goes to it anymore. Plus, they're smarter. So I feel like this could spice it up. So if it gets placed here, it will suck people from that island over here. It's a small thing, but a pretty cool buff at the same time. For Bubble, I really don't think it's much a wording because the ability really does kind of suck. It's not good. I just don't like it. But I feel like it's not as rewarding because you have to get 250 kills plus the Harbinger of Death and all of that. So instead of just shooting it and going it into one direction, what if it just goes to someone? Like, what if it follows someone up until they get trapped in it and then they get sent out to the void? It would be a lot better than just going into one direction and getting bigger. Instead, just make it so it gets bigger until the guy gets trapped in it and it follows the person. That would be very cool. Similar to Bob, almost. But it's a cheaper version of Bob, pretty much. That's how Bubble can be buffed. And it's also more rewarding. And worth all that hard work. Alright, the final bad glove. Shard glove. There's a lot I can say about this glove. It's terrible. Everyone can jump over this. Plus, the aiming is very inaccurate. Now, how can we solve this? Easy. Instead of shooting icicles, what if a wall gets built around you? And it's basically a defense glove. You can climb over the wall, smack someone, and then just go back into the wall again. It could also be an ice fortress, an igloo. It can be anything. So instead of just shooting it, it can just make a wall around you. And then you will be safe. And then you can smack people. Maybe there can be hidden Easter eggs saying, like, I destroy overkills or something. But those are how the worst gloves in Slap Battles should be buffed. Let me know what you guys think. Is there any way you can change about these buffs? Is there any buffs that you would change? And I'll see you all later in the next video. Hopefully I get to stream sometime soon. But anyways, I'll see you all later. I'll see you when the kill streak gloves gets reworked. And have a good day. Adios, mi amigo.